Rockford's home for Classic Rocks, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. Joining me, comedian Bert Kreischer. Bert, how you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Probably the happiest I've ever been.
Why are you so happy today?
I'm excited about this tour. I'm healthy. I'm losing weight. I haven't drank in like 2 weeks. I'm sleeping great. My kids just started school. I got the house back. Come on, it doesn't get better than this.
Wait a second. A healthy Bert, a non-drinking Bert, is that still a funny Bert?
Sadly, I think it's more funny. Yeah, it's funny because people think I'm wasted when I get on stage. I never drink before I go on stage. I'll bring a drink on stage with me, but I'm never wasted on stage. But people are always shocked when I go, like, because we do Sober October every year, me, Rogan, Ari Shaffir, and Tom Segura, and everyone's like, how are you going to do stand-up? And I'm like, I always do it sober. Are you kidding me? Like, this is my job. You think I was going to pursue something that I could just get? You think I'd still be here if I was, like, blackout drunk on stage every night?
No, that's after, right?
Yeah, that is definitely after. I'll tell you that right now. Get on the tour bus, start making cocktails, drive to the next city. Oh my God, it's the greatest life I've ever lived.
Now, you talk about being healthy. I was listening to your podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't catch all of it, but you did some huge bike race. Like, what's that all about?
Something's wrong with my brain. I am like an impulse guy. And like I ran the LA Marathon with no training once, right? Because my buddy said I couldn't do it. So I just did it. And I did it, and then all of a sudden, tentpole events like that, like I did a triathlon with no training. I did the Tough Mudder. You know, I just go in and did these. And so I got offered to ride a bike in a bike race from Philadelphia to Atlantic City, 67 miles. And I was like, yeah, I got that. Not even realizing how absolutely torturous that is. It is the worst thing I've ever done, and I've done everything. I've done everything there is to do. Physically, I've tried everything, you know, like triathlon, marathon, Tough Mudder, Spartan race, inflatable race, color run, like whatever, all those things. I've done them all. Dude, riding a bike 67 miles, as easy as you think it may be, is exhaustingly painful.
I mean, that's just got to hurt your butt.
Oh, 5 hours and 56 minutes. I mean, I could feel it inside me. It felt like it was my first night in prison and things weren't going well.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It was so painful. I'll never do it again. I'll never ride a bike more. At 18 miles, I wanted to give up. At 40 miles, I was like, wait, this isn't a turnaround spot? It was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I'll never do it again.
How many gears were on your bike?
Oh, I have a $3,000 bike. I have the nicest bike you can buy. It's a Cannondale Synapse. It's all carbon. It's the highest end Cannondale Synapse you can get. It is light as anything, and it was still horrific.
How many days did you lay in bed just in pain after?
I could not sit anywhere. My butt was blown out. Like the next day I was walking through the airport and I was like, wow, something's in my pants. And it was just my butt cheeks were swollen from the seat.
Now, when somebody asks you to do something crazy like this again, will you remember this bike ride or will you just, yeah, I'll do it?
Depending on the activity, I'll do it. Like, I like crazy. Started with me and Segura losing weight, like doing a weight loss competition in a month, and I lost like 30 pounds in a month. And I love, my brain gets excited by that kind of stuff. Like we were talking about, you know, every Sober October we do a physical challenge, and Ari Shaffir thought we should get off our cell phones for a month. We were joking about it. We're like, maybe we'll get our cell phones encrusted in a 50-pound kettlebell, and that'll be our challenge, is that if you want to use your cell phone, you definitely use your cell phone less if it was encrusted in a 50-pound kettlebell.
Yeah, you're not going to be doing a lot of texting when that happens.
Oh, not at all. You're not playing one video game. That's it. You're done. But I like stupid stuff like that. Like, we do that every Sober October. We do some sort of like crazy challenge.
Now, since you guys have been doing this for a while, do you get fans that join in and they do Sober October with you?
Oh yeah, fans join in. Other comedians join in. Doug Stanhope did a doctor-monitored version of Sober October last year. They weaned him off alcohol slowly, and by the end of the month, he had stopped drinking, but it was already time to start drinking again.
And then you're back right to it, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of people join in. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when you see people like, not to be sappy, you know, that's never my intention. My only intention is for people to laugh. But like we've had a lot of people that have been like, hey man, I did it as a lark with my friends and now I'm off opioids, or I stopped smoking, or, you know, I didn't realize I had a drinking problem until I quit. So it's kind of cool for all that to happen to people. And then you get like the weekend warriors like me that is like, I'll take a month off, then I'm going back hard in the paint in November.
You got to get yourself prepared for the holidays, right?
Oh, yeah. I stopped drinking. It's gotten so intense that I stopped drinking this month just to get ready for Sober October. because I need to lose weight to get even in competitive position for this Sober October. So oddly enough, it's super serious. I was literally thinking, like, what if I quit drinking from now until October and then stayed sober through October, and I'd really have some momentum.
Yeah.
And now I'm talking crazy because there's no way I'm not drinking in September on this tour.
And think about it. Come November, you're going to be a cheap date, and then, one beer and you're wasted.
You'd be shocked at how much tolerance my liver's put up with. When the first time we did Sober October, we got done, and November 1st, me and Ari at midnight went out drinking in New Orleans. I had a cocktail, and I had the flood of emotions that alcohol brings with you. It's so funny. I remember this little girl who used to be friends with my daughters. She would dance by herself like a lunatic, and I'd be like, what's wrong with her? When I had that drink, I went, oh, now I know why she dances. I was like, what is wrong with my brain?
I'm talking to comedian Bert Kreischer. He has got 2 shows at the Chicago Theater on Saturday, November 19th. It's the Body Shots World Tour. When do you take off for this tour?
September 12th, literally crisscrossing the country. 3 of the weeks, I'll stay on the bus for the whole time, and then come back maybe Monday mornings or if I don't have a Sunday show.
Oh, so you're doing a tour bus then?
Yeah, full tour bus. The first time we did this tour, my wife looked at the routing and was like, accompanied by my lifestyle, and was like, you'll die. You'll definitely die. I know you. You're the kind of guy that's like, I need some sleep, I'll take a Xanax, and then we'll never see you again. She was like, I'm going to get you a tour bus. It's super expensive, but for peace of mind for my wife to know that I'm not partying like a lunatic. Like, I can go to the bar and then get on the bus, and then literally the bus driver shows up at like 4 in the morning, and we're still drinking, and then drives us, we all fall asleep, drives us to the next city. You wake up at like noon, go have lunch, go to the YMCA, work out, sauna, come back, take a nap, do the show, rinse and repeat.
It's like a rock star.
Yeah. My buddies just toured with some real rock stars, and they're like, just so you know, it's nothing like what you think you live.
Okay, a rock band, they have several people in the band, they've got crew, and they got all these people on a bus. So how many people are going to be on your tour bus?
I have a bus driver, I have me, I have an opener, I have my assistant, I have a cameraman, and I have a producer. So at any given time, probably 5 people usually.
See, that's not bad. 5 people on a bus? No, that's good.
It's actually really doable. You need a cameraman these days when you want to shoot a promo for Instagram to promote tour dates. It just cost effective. It just makes sense. You need an assistant out there because you need someone before you go on stage to be like, can you make sure that everyone gets dinner? I can't do that. And you don't want to ask your opener to do it because your opener is just a comedian. So yeah, it's bare bones, really.
That sounds like a good fall.
Yeah, and then I hit up like my friends that are, in whatever place I'm going to. I'd had buddies that, like John Heffron, when I'm going to Detroit, is like, yo, can I open for you in Detroit? And I'm like, of course. Someone reached out to me about Chicago. Who was it? Chicago Theater. Everyone's like, yo, can I hop on that show? It's such a monumental theater.
The tour bus seems like it would be a great place to do the podcast.
It's not, oddly enough. It's not at all. We tried to do one, and it's too small, and it's too loud. It makes too much noise. Sadly, it is not a great place to do a podcast.
Plus, there's too much trouble you can get in on a tour bus.
This sounds crazy, but a tour bus still has the feeling of a green room. And so with comics in a green room, we talk super reckless. And so you end up saying things like, I got $10,000, says Louis C.K., and you're like, oh, you don't want this going on a podcast.
You don't want the public to hear that.
No, you don't want the public to know what your inner thoughts truly are.
And that kind of surprises me because you're a guy, you're not afraid to share anything and everything.
I am what they call problematic these days in that I share it all. I have no problem. I feel like if you put all your warts out there, they can never call you on anything.
That's very true. Now, were you always like that? Were you the kid that shared way too much with his classmates?
Oh, 100%. 100. I went to an all-boys Catholic high school, and that is where I learned how to do stand-up ultimately. You didn't get to sit at the table because you were good-looking. You had to have a reason to sit at the cool table. So you had to be able to tell a story. And with a bunch of dudes, half of which were Cuban, you had to be able to hold your own at a table full of guys that had large personalities. And so, yeah, I was always a little bit of shock and awe.
The big show is coming to the Chicago Theater on Saturday, November 9th. Tickets are on sale now. Bert, thank you so much for taking the time. If people are looking for you on the internet, your podcast, social media, all that, where should they go?
You can find everything at BertBertBert.com with an E. BERT.com. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, tour dates, merch, you name it, it's there.
Thank you so much for taking the time today. I always enjoy talking to you.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Comedian Bert Kreischer. Go check him out at the Chicago Theater. Rockford's home for Classic Rock, 96.7, The Eagle.